Hey, what is going on guys, this is Tharshey and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be having a look at the best build for Gwanwyn in Call of Dragons. So hope you guys do enjoy the video, and if you do, please do drop a like, comment and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on those post notifications. Anyway, let's get straight into it. So first we're going to go over her skills, then we're going to go over her talent tree. You guys can take a screenshot of that when we're done, and then after that we will go over her best deputy pairings as well as the best artifact to use on her. So Gwanwyn, as you can see, is an epic hero, but she's a hero that's really good, and she's a hero that you use even though you may be a big spender. Like, you can be a whale, but Gwanwyn is pretty much always going to be there as a pretty top tier marksman hero until you get one of the newer heroes like Sidrian or Freygar. But until then, Gwanwyn is going to be one of your go-to heroes, whether as your main or your deputy. So let's have a look at her skills first. So her main skill is Chaotic Arrows, and this basically deals hero skill damage to an enemy legion 3 times in quick succession. Okay, so it does damage 3 times to enemy legion, and the damage it does is 200, 200, 400. So that is a total of 800 damage, which is not too bad. Next you have Aspiring Queen's Guard, which is just 15% extra damage to when peacekeeping, aka against AI legions and stuff. So honestly, no, I don't really care about the skill. It's helpful if you're using her PvE a lot, I guess, but honestly, it doesn't really matter to me because I only really care about her PvP capabilities. So onto her third skill, Green Bolt's Master. All marksman units in Gwanwyn's Legion gain 15% physical attack and 10% march speed. This is really good. 15% attack to all your marksman units, which is perfect. She's a marksman commander, you're going to be using marksman units. And 10% extra march speed is awesome, whether it's for behemoth raids or PvP. March speed is always super important. Her fourth skill is Preemptive Strike. When Gwanwyn's Legion has 50% unit count or higher, her units deal 10% extra damage. So long as your units are above 50% HP, like you have more than 50% unit count, you're going to be getting a flat 10% more damage for your Gwanwyn. So that is a pretty cool skill. Now if you do have her awakened like I do, when Gwanwyn's Legion launches a normal attack, they have a 50% chance to poison the target. So when she's awakened, she gains a chance to poison the enemy, right? And that deals hero skill damage every second, and that's 100 damage, physical damage factor 100 for 3 seconds. AKA, that's 300 extra damage. So that means every time her Legion launches a normal attack, there's a chance she's going to be able to do 300 extra damage to the enemy Legion, and that's a 50% chance, so that's a pretty high chance. Anyway, let's go and have a look at her talent build. So the talent build that I use for her is her Marksman tree. There is a precision build that I will look over afterwards, but honestly I think her Marksman tree is pretty much the best tree, and you should either be putting your extra points into the Marksman tree afterwards, or you can go halfway up the precision tree. That is up to you. Anyway, her foundation talents, as you know, as I use for all my commanders, are the exact same: overall attack, followed by overall speed, followed by overall health, followed by arrow or precision, which is her main skill, which you have to take, which is your Legion deals 2% more normal attack damage and ignores 1% of the enemy's defense while in battle, which is pretty nice. Now you're going to go straight down your marksman tree. You're going to start off with marksman attack. This will give you 2.5% more marksman attack in total, so increases attack for your Legion's marksman by 2.5%. That's great. Now you can go fully loaded. Your Legion deals 1% more normal attack damage when launching ranged attacks, aka so long as you're launching ranged attacks, you're going to be doing 5% more normal attack damage. You could do that, but honestly I would not recommend it. Instead, my go-to is Head Held High, which is launching a normal attack has a 10% chance to grant your Legion 50 rage. Now this is really nice because every time you launch a normal attack, you can possibly grant yourself some rage, and if you get some rage, you can then pop off her active skills, her main skill. You can pop that off and deal 800 damage. So this is where I would go. You follow this up with Intimidation, which is your Legion deals 4% more hero skill damage. So obviously Gwanwyn and whoever her deputy is are going to be skill damage heroes, so you're going to want to make sure you are doing as much skill damage as possible. You're going to follow that up with Shower of Blows. When casting raid skills, there's a 50% chance that your next raid skill will deal 8% more damage. 8% more damage, not too bad at all. You can also go Bullseye, which is when your Legion consists entirely of marksman units, they gain 5 stacks of attack every 10 seconds while in battle. Each stack increases attack by 1%. Each normal attack they launch removes 1 stack. So this will basically give you 5% attack that then gets dropped to 4, 3, 2, 1. But honestly, I think it's better to do this. If you do get this, that's going to increase your already pretty high hero skill damage. Now next up, we are not going to bother with egoism because honestly you don't care about, you know, taking less damage. Magic counterattacks, I mean, this is not terrible, honestly. Like, it's not bad. And if you are fighting a lot of mages, which honestly you always will be, everyone uses mages, you can go for this. But I personally just prefer going Marksman HP, which gives me 2.5% more Marksman health, and then going straight into Delight, which increases raid's accumulation speed by 15% when your Legion unit count is over 50%. So remember, one of her skills was increases the damage of your Legion by 10% when you're over 50% health. Well, here's a skill that works with that as well. So long as you're over 50% health, you will also increase the rate at which you gain rage by 15%. So long as your Marksman Legion under Gwanwyn stays above 50% unit count, a lot of different, you know, passive abilities are just going to be going off. So it's nice to have. Next, well, you could go Last Word, but terrible, don't bother. There's also, Harvest, which is every time your Legion defeats an enemy Legion, the attack increases by 0.5% up to a maximum of 1. aka if you defeat 2 Legions, you get 1% more attack. Honestly, don't feel it's worth it, plus half the time, you know, if you get ganged up on or something, you may die. And even if you do get this, that's 1% more attack. It's not going to really do that much. Instead, I would go for Radical. Radical is a lot more helpful. It is a trade-off, but the trade-off is definitely worth it. So it reduces your Legion's defense by 1.5%, which is not, you know, I mean, less defense is obviously worse, but it increases the damage dealt by 3%, which is perfect. So you are trading 1.5% Legion defense, but you're gaining 3% attack, so definitely go for Radical. Now next up, you do have Burst Shot, right? When your Marksman Legion launches a normal attack, they deal additional hero skill damage, which is 150 damage once every 10 seconds, but honestly, don't really bother going with that, it's not worth it. Instead, go for Pursuit, okay? Pursuit is way better. When your Legion consists entirely of Marksman units, they inflict fragility when casting raid skills. So, obviously, you're going to be having an entire, your Gwanwyn's Legion is going to be all Marksman units, so that's not going to be an issue. And this increases their normal attack damage, increasing normal attack damage taken by 10% for 5 seconds. So this will mean that the enemy, whoever you're attacking, is going to be taking more normal attack damage, and I assume it's going to be from everybody. So if you have friends attacking, this is going to mean this means that Legion that you attack is going to take more normal attack damage from your friends as well. It can be triggered once every 10 seconds, but it lasts 5 seconds, so that's not bad. It's got a 5-second off time between it. Now, with your remaining points, you're going to go into the precision tree. You're going to go for overall attack, which is just 2% more attack for your Legion. You're going to follow that up with Adrenaline Rush, which is 4% more normal attack damage. You could go for overall speed, however, if you want. So this is up to you. If you want more attack, this is normal attack only, which is not what you're focused on. But I like going for it. But if you don't want that and you do want more mod speed, go for overall speed, okay? Overall speed is not a bad choice as well. This, I'm leaving it up to you. If you want the mod speed, overall speed. If you want slightly more attack, go Adrenaline Rush. Next, you're going to go for Last Word, which is your Legion deals 4% more counter attack damage. Don't think it's the greatest choice, honestly. But strengthened weaponry is useless, right? You deal less hero skill damage. No, thank you. And all conquering, your Legion takes 0.8% less normal attack damage. This is not bad. I just decided to go with Last Word, so it's up to you though. If you want to go Last Word or all conquering, that is your choice. For most of you guys, I would probably say just go all conquering. It's the safer bet, to take less normal attack damage. But I've just been experimenting around, and I am going with Last Word here, which is more counter attack damage, which is not terrible, I guess. But yeah, I'm just trying that out. So to be safe, just go all conquering over here. Next up, I go with Whirlwind, which is when launching a normal attack, your Legion has a 10% chance to deal 150 extra damage. So that's not too bad. Every time I launch a normal attack, I can deal 150 more damage. The other choice was this: when launching a normal attack, your Legion has a 10% chance to get Onslaught, increasing the normal attack damage by 8% for 5 seconds. Honestly, neither of these are great, I feel, but if you want to pick this over Whirlwind, you can. I'm not going to say anything about that, but I personally just prefer to go Whirlwind. Now we're going to go, wait, let me actually zoom out first. So there you go. This is the skill build. You can take a quick screenshot of this if you want. Now we're going to go on to the precision tree. So I don't use it personally, which is why I don't have it built, but let's go. We're going to start off with the same base 3 talents. We're going to go drop our points there. And we're obviously going to be going into the marksman tree as well for some of our skills. So you would probably want to finish the precision tree first, but it's fine. We're just going to do this because you already know what I'm going to pick here, which is going to be this, the rage generation, the skill damage, and then we're going to go for shower of blows. Perfect. Now for the precision tree, you're going to go do the same thing again, right? You're going to go here, you're going to go adrenaline rush, and just for this, I'm going to go over here. Oh wait, oops, put 1 point there. I'm going to go over here and take all conquering, since this is, you know, 4% less normal attack damage is not bad. And I just was testing this last word out, but honestly it's fine. So we're gonna go there, whirlwind. So exact same build I mentioned last time so far. Now this is where we do change things up. So head held high is nice, right? We want the rage generation. Intrepid, when casting rage skills, you didn't get focus, increasing the normal crit rate. I don't really like that much. Suppression, 25% chance to inflict fragility on the target legion when casting rage skills, increasing normal attack damage taken. Don't like that as well. This is definitely the go-to here, right? So what do we want? Do we first want cool down the pressure? So we do more normal attack damage, but this is when we're above 50% unit count, which is honestly fine, because remember, we have a, oh well, you're not going to be using it here, but we have a actual skill, you know, on Gwanwyn, which only activates when she's above 50%. So you do want to try keep your people, your legion, over 50% unit count. So that is a choice. However, you do have initial intuition, right? So this basically gives you a 10% chance when maxed out to remove a debuff effect, which is not bad at all, right? If you get debuffed, if you scorched by an enemy Lilia or something, this can help you survive a lot longer. So you can go for this if you really want. Impressible is also not bad, right? Because this is ignoring enemy defense. So you're just going to be straight up ignoring, like, what is it? 1.6% I think in total of the enemy's defense. So you can go for that as well. However, I'm going to go for cooldown the pressure just because I'm already trying to keep my Gwanwyn above 50% unit counts. So we're going to go there. We're going to go head held high. Now we're going to go over here. Force of Will. When casting rage skills, your legion has a 25% chance to get onslaught, increasing the normal attack damage by 2%. Or you can go dedication, which this basically every time you launch a normal attack, you have a chance to heal. Again, I don't care about my survivability, so I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to go put my points in a Force of Will. Now, for here, you have Mighty Slash, right? When launching a normal attack, you have 15% chance to trigger an additional normal attack. This is once every 20 seconds, right? So this is not bad. It means if you do another normal attack, that's some nice extra damage. And this is increase the attack of your legion by 0.5% every 10 seconds up to a maximum of 3%. Now, this is the skill I'm going to personally go for because, I mean, 3% extra attack is nothing to scoff at. And I know it says every 10 seconds, but honestly, if you're in a prolonged fight, this can easily hit that 3% for you. Your one extra point, obviously, you can put into whatever you want. I just always dump it into the mod speed because 3% more mod speed, why not? So let me zoom out, and this is the precision tree build if you guys want it. Just pause the video here, take a screenshot. And now we're going to move on to deputies. So who should you use as a deputy? Honestly, there's only one really good choice here. Unless you're in Season 2, which is where you do have, other commanders that you can pair with her, like Sidrian or Freyga. But besides that, your two choices is Craig, who is a flyer, right? So you'll probably be using him in a flyer build instead. But you can use him with your Gwanwyn. He is a marksman. He also has some nice skills, right? So that's 600 damage, and he can do up to 300 damage to 2 extra legions, which is not bad. 10% more hero skill damage, that's perfect. It buffs, Gwanwyn, and it for him as well is perfect. It increases both their damages by 10%, and it gives them 20% mass speed when the battle ends for moving on to a new target or for getting away from reinforcements. This now aerial formation, so this increases your attack by 10%, right? So when he's paired with Gwanwyn, your legion will have 10% more attack. However, because you're not using flying units, you're not going to get the 10% defense either. And building frenzy is useless. You don't really care about that, right? He's enhanced when he's awakened. He's not bad as well. Increases attack from 6 to 800, and it also increases the amount of damage. So they also can gain bleed, dealing skill damage every second for 3 seconds, 200, which is an extra 600 damage, which is not bad. So awakened Craig is not too bad. However, he's not the optimal choice. You only go with him with Gwanwyn if you are not using him in a flying build, or if you just don't have Nico. Nico is by far the best bet for your Gwanwyn if you are in Season 1, obviously, and you do not have access to the new Season 2 heroes. So, if we look at him, Nico, piercing shot, he does 1400 damage, which is great, and he inflicts defense break, which reduces the defense of the enemy by 15% for 3 seconds. So for those 3 seconds, you're going to be doing a lot more damage. His second skill is useless. It's a building skill we don't care about. His next skill is agile deployment. All marksman units in Nico's Legion gain 20% attack and 10% defense. This is absolutely massive. If you have this maxed out, that's 20% more attack your entire legion is going to be doing, and also 10% more defense, which means, you know, if you are using that marksman build I gave you where you are cutting down some of your defense, that's fine because it's going to be more than covered for a year. Your next skill is Grey Mars Ballista. When casting rage skill, Nico's Legion gets Onslaught and Riposte. I'm watching that pronunciation, guys. Anyway, increasing your normal attack and counter attack damage dealt by 12% for 5 seconds. This can be triggered once every 7 seconds, so this is not bad, right? At max, this is going to be giving you 20% more normal attack damage and 20% more counter attack damage bonus, which is not bad since in your Gwanwyn skill tree, obviously there is a couple skills there that increases your normal attack and your counter attack damage, so that's perfect. And when you awaken him, well, obviously he's pretty great. Bullseye Barrage. When Nico's Legion launches a normal attack on a target legion that already has defense break, which he inflicts with his main thing, then they have an 80% chance to deal additional hero skill damage of 200. So that's not too bad. It's not the greatest awakening, I feel, but honestly, it's not terrible either. So that is going to be the deputies you're going to use. You can use Craig or you can use Nico, with Nico being by far the best deputy. Now we're going to go on to the best artifacts. So let's go back over here. We are going to go find our, there we go, going to go find our artifacts, go to probability, and have a look at all these artifacts. So the best artifact to use if you're using a purple artifact, I mean, there is Centaur Bow, which you could use, but I mean, it gives you defense, and it's not really that great. So I wouldn't bother. This is like if you have nothing, absolutely nothing else, right? You can go for that, or you could even go for a PvE artifact like Bombflinger, which at least gives you some Marksmen attack and Legion attack. Centaur Bow, it only gives you a little bit of Legion defense. So honestly, you don't ever want to bother that. Anyway, the best artifact to use from your purple stuff, which is what I'm still using, is Archery Master's Manual. This gives you Marksman defense and Legion defense. So at max, this gives you 28% more Marksman unit defense and 18% more Legion defense, and it will give you 25% attack. So it increases the attack of your Legion by 25% for 20 seconds. So that's great. Now, if you are, if you don't have an Archery Master's, okay, honestly, let's not even say that. But if you don't have an Archery Master's Manual, you can also go Heart Piercer, which is probably better, honestly. But you can go with either one, right? Like, I don't think I have a Heart Piercer, honestly. I only have Archery Master's Manual myself, so I use it, and it's not bad. It gives me some more defense, some tankier, and it increases my Legion attack by 25%, which is not bad at all, Extra 25% attack for a full 20 seconds is not bad at all. However, this is probably the better purple choice, which gives you 28% more Marksman unit attack and 18% more Legion attack, so that's quite a lot of extra attack, and it also does 2000 artifact damage, so that's not bad. And it has a 65% chance to gain physical defense break, which is pretty nice because it drops their physical defense by 15% for 3 seconds, which also goes really well with Nico's skill that we spoke about, remember? Well, I think when he's awakened, there's an 80% chance that he does more damage if the target has defense break, so Heart Piercer can help with that. So for your epic artifacts, your number 1 choice is Heart Piercer, your number 2 choice is Archery Master's Manual. If you have neither of those, you could go for something like a Bombflinger for PvE, or I don't know, you could go Homecoming Blossom, Cloak of Stealth, any of the other utility artifacts. Now, onto the legendary artifacts. Well, what is the best legendary artifact? Obviously, there is stuff that is literally just always going to be good. For example, nope, the wrong one. Where are you? Springbird Feather? No. No, this is for magic. Where is my... Am I blind? Am I blind, guys? I think I'm blind. Where is my... I swear, where is my Archer's Art? Hearts of Kamasi, there we go, that's one. But was there not one with attack? Am I crazy? I mean, you could always go Shadow Blades. Yeah, there we go, Shadow Blades. Found it. Okay, so... now that I found them both, you have Heart of Kamasi, right, which is one choice, which will basically give you a total of 66% more defense, gives you 30% more attack and 30% more normal attack for 10 seconds, so you can go for Heart of Kamasi. However, the best choice, which, there we go, is your spring blades, so shadow blades. I mean, shadow blades are absolutely insane. They're going to give you 62%, sorry, 62% more attack. So that's 40% marksman unit attack and 22% legion attack. And they can do up to 3,600 artifact damage to 5 legions. Each one takes 15% less damage, but still, this is absolutely mad, okay? This is the best artifact that you can use on your marksman legion. So let's recap that because I got a bit lost there. So for your legendary artifacts, the number 1 choice is Shadow Blades. Your number 2 choice is Heart of Kamasi. And then from your purple artifacts, your number 1 choice is Heart Piercer. Your number 2 choice is Archery Master's Manual. Anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy the video and I hope it helped you out. If it did, please do drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to turn on those post notifications. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.